Stop scrolling for a second. Did you know that 90% of the companies hiring automation testers demand Selenium as a must-have skill? But most people still struggle to learn it properly. In the next few minutes, I will break down exactly what Selenium is, why it is so powerful, and I will show you how you can master it step by step without feeling overwhelmed. Whether you are aiming for a better job, higher salary, or just want to stand out in the crowd, this video is just for you. And so grab your coffee, sit down, because by the end of this video you will know more about Selenium than 80% of your competition. And in this video I'm going to explain you what Selenium is, what it is used for, and what is the overall architecture of Selenium. So it will help you to learn better. So by the way, this is a first video of the video series called Selenium Playlist, in which I have explained everything in detail in Selenium, whatever you need to learn as a corporate guy. Alright, so let's not waste our further time and let's start with the video. Cool. So in the first slide, we will see what is Selenium. Selenium, it is an open source automation testing framework. It is used to automate web browsers. It's not a single tool. Okay, it might sound overwhelming, but don't worry, I will explain you each and everything step by step. So first of all, a very important thing which you need to keep in mind whenever you are giving an interview and whenever you are learning Selenium, that what is Selenium? Selenium is an framework, very important, where all the testers get confused. Some people say that it is a tool, some people say it is a language, some people say it is something blah blah. But don't get confused. Mark it, Selenium is a testing framework, okay? And it combines multiple tools. So how framework is made? Well, first of all, what is this framework? You can understand what is a framework. A framework is basically a set of rules or a set of tools combined together so that you can do something. All right, so for example, if you are, let's say you want to do web development, okay, so for web development what do you need? You need HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and probably some backend language Java as well. All right, but there are four different tools. Now when you combine these four different tools in a single unit, that is called as framework, and in that framework you can make the languages talk to each other with the help of certain APIs and certain protocols and whatever the standards are. So similarly, Selenium, it is an automation testing framework. It is used to automate web browsers. Very important. You cannot automate application, Android application, or an or an iOS application. You need to automate web browser, and that's where Selenium come into the play. Okay, as I told, it's not a single tool. Since it is a framework, it is a suite of tools that lets you write test script in various programming languages like Java, Python, C Sharp, Ruby, JavaScript, or etc., whatever you can think of. Alright, but in this video series we will be focusing on Java very in detail. Okay, we are going to learn automation using Selenium, using Java, and I assure you, if you watch all the videos of this playlist, you will be a pro in no time and you can crack any automation tester job. That's my promise. You just need to be in this entire video series. All right, okay, let me show you little bit about practicality, how it works. Okay, before that, what are the core purposes? The core purpose is to automate web application testing across browser. As I told you that you can automate web application testing. Okay, now what does automation of web application testing mean? I will give you a live example. So we can go to some website, probably flipkart.com. It's a very popular website. You all might know about it. Okay, so imagine you are working on a company called Flipkart, and this is the website, this is your current project, and your manager tells you that you need to automate Flipkart. Now what does it mean when you say that we need to automate Flipkart? So basically, this is a production website, right, which all customers can view. All right, so before coming to the production, the entire website needs to go through a certain level of testing so that everything works correctly fine. And can you see so many pages are there in this website, right? Minutes, mobile, tablet, fashion, electronics. Under electronics you have so many variety of pages, all right? But if you are going to test this manually, you need to go to each and every page and each and every product and verify everything if it is working or not, all right? That's a very tough and tedious job. What if I have a tool that will automate the entire testing, whatever I do it manually, like clicking on this product and then probably seeing the price is visible or not, entering pin code, checking the button, everything, every single thing, whatever you can think of in this, like clicking the read more, and you can see if all the read more are coming or not, checking if rating and reviews are correctly coming or not, each and everything, checking if add to cart is working or not, checking if buy now button is working or not, checking if payment is working or not, each and everything, whatever you can see in this website, everything should work correctly, right? That is so much of work that we need to do. And what Selenium will do, Selenium will automate this everything. And how it will automate, what is the strategy behind this automation? Let me tell you the strategy. Okay, you just need to right click, click inspect, and now you can see the console. I'm not going to explain you the entire coding part over here, but I'm just going to explain you how Selenium works basically. Okay, so basically what will happen when you write some code, that code in Selenium will interact with a web driver. What is a web driver? Web driver is basically a tool or an extension of a browser. So for example, this is a Chrome browser what I am using. You can see this is a Chrome browser. So if you want to interact with this element like Mayuri Creations Black Quad, so you need to first interact with this Chrome browser, and then only you can open this URL and then interact with this, alright? So WebDriver is a thing which will interact with the browser, which will help Selenium to interact with the browser, and then you can certainly interact with this elements. Now once you have WebDriver in place, I will explain you WebDriver in detail, don't worry, in the later videos. But once you have the WebDriver in place, now you see in console, when you click this, you can see every element has a code. Every element has a code. When you see Mayuri Creation, you can see in the console tab, everything has certain code. Okay, right? So for example, you want to click on this. So once you want to click on this, when I hover on this, you can see this is the class name namjq. So with the help of class name, which is a unique class name, and with the help of IDs, class name, or certain different things which I will explain you, you can interact with all the elements and you can click on them and you can do whatever you want, and you can also control copy, paste, mouse hover, and whatever you can do manually, you can all do that in automation as well. This is the overall idea of Selenium. I'm not going into detail right now. I'm just going to give you an overall idea what Selenium is and how it works. Okay, so I will write a script which will interact with this element. It will click the element and it will give me a final report that if the element got clicked or not, and after clicking, what is the second page that I am able to see. This is the exact Selenium thing. Alright, so now you must have understood what is the core purpose of Selenium. Alright, automate web application, ensure that web app works correctly under various conditions, performs regression testing. If you are already working in some company, you must be familiar with this word called regression testing, functional testing, cross-browser testing. Okay, if not, it's just a type of testing which you do. Ultimately, you have to do automation. That's the core purpose. Alright, now I'll tell you about four major components of the Selenium. We are not going to dive into the entire architecture of the Selenium in this video. That's for the second video. But right now I'm going to tell you that what are the components. We have to understand the components very correctly so that we can understand the architecture, right? So let's not overwhelm everything in this video. Okay, first of all, what is Selenium IDE? Okay, Selenium IDE is a record and playback tool. So basically it's just a drag and drop tool. You can understand it as a drag and drop tool, and without coding you can do the stuffs. But obviously if you are not doing any coding and if you are using a drag and drop feature, that has certain limitation. You cannot do everything. All right, so that's why Selenium IDE is not being very widely used and it's not very popular. What you will be using is Selenium WebDriver and Selenium Grid. These two are the major things, major component of Selenium that you will be using. Even the Selenium remote control is not required. Okay, so let me tell you what is a WebDriver. I just explained you what was a WebDriver just few minutes back. We can just see the definition. The core and most powerful part, it lets you write robust test scripts in any supported language, interacts directly with the browser, mimicking real user behavior. All right, so you can directly interact with the browser with the help of Selenium WebDriver. And what is Selenium Grid? It lets you run your tests on multiple machines in parallel. Very important. So for example, you are testing this Flipkart website. So you can see how there are numerous number of pages and numerous links and everything. So if you just run it one by one serially, think about the time it is going to take. It's going to take like 24 hours if I'm not wrong. But if you run it parallelly in different computers, if your tests are running parallelly, then you can save your time depending on how powerful your computer is. So it's very important to learn Selenium Grid, that we will be also covering in this entire video series. So Selenium WebDriver and Selenium Grid, these two terms should be clear by now, and we will understand this how Grid and WebDriver interacts in the architecture part. Okay. Now how does Selenium work? Everything I have explained you, we'll just go through the definition just quickly. So your script uses web drivers, okay, to send command to the browser driver, like Chrome driver, Gecko driver for Firefox. Chrome driver is for Chrome, Gecko driver is for Firefox. Similarly for Brave you have different driver, and for Opera Mini and Safari you have different drivers. So what does driver does? The driver simply translates those commands into browser native calls. Your browser performs actions like, what are the actions that you will be performing? Opening Flipkart URL, clicking certain buttons, filling some forms, you can validate results, you can take screenshots, and you can close the browser as well. So literally everything you can do with the help of Selenium. That's the entire idea behind it. What are the languages which you can use with Selenium? Selenium is a framework. You can use Java or Python or C# or JavaScript or Ruby or Kotlin, any of one. Okay, you can choose your favorite language in this and you can use any of them. In this video series we will be covering Java, as Java is most popular and it's widely used and it is very powerful. Okay, supported browser, you can test in Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, Opera. Okay, you can test in any of the browsers. Okay, why is Selenium driver so popular? Selenium so popular because it's free and open source. You don't need to pay anything. Even for learning purpose, you don't need to pay anything. It's very free. It's a framework, open source. Anyone can use it and anyone can contribute it on it also if you are a pro enough. You can do cross-browser and cross-platform testing. It's very flexible. It works with CI/CD very well. Integrate with other testing frameworks like JUnit and TestNG. We will be covering TestNG and JUnit in detail in our video series as well, as it is very important. TestNG is used for parallel execution of tests and writing unit test cases for classes. All right, so this is also covered, and it's a large ecosystem of plugins and add-ons, and it's a large community as well. Okay, and at last we'll just understand what Selenium is not. What is not Selenium? It does not test desktop or mobile app. As I told you, it does not test desktop app like MS Paint, MS Teams. It does not test that. Mobile apps like your mobile games or probably anything, your mobile Android app or Apple app. Okay, it does not test that. It does not handle performance testing. For performance testing you use JMeter. Let me tell you, I have an entire video series of JMeter uploaded in this channel. You can just go through the playlist section of my channel and you can find it JMeter over there, and you can learn JMeter over there also. It does not include any advanced reporting by default, but don't worry, we will learn how to use external reporting tool and integrate with our Selenium. It's not a big deal. it does not handle test data or environment setup. It is also not a big deal. I will tell you how to handle test data using a Excel sheet and a CSV probably. Okay, cool. So that was all for this video. I hope you have learned something and you have become little bit advanced from other testers. I'll recommend you that you stick to this video series, learn about the architecture in the next video, and probably continue learning Selenium, because I'm working currently with a company and I know what the company requires and what is the market standards you need to, crack an interview probably, or advance in your skills. So yeah, that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, if you have liked it, please consider liking it. It gives me a motivation, and you can also consider subscribing if you don't want to miss the updates. Alright, bye bye, take care.